Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the latest in the slew of live-action Disney remakes, and it's Dumbo. Which honestly, if you really take a step back and really think about it, this is probably the least anticipated one of this year because, Aladdin's coming out, and The Lion King's coming out, and then there's just kind of Dumbo. But I remember seeing the trailers and hearing Tim Burton did this. My own personal stock in Tim Burton has waned a lot over the years, and I love his earlier work. I think he is a masterful artist, honestly. And somewhere along the line, he's kind of something's gone somewhere. And I was really hoping that this wasn't going to feel so much like some of his other works, so say like Dark Shadows and like Alice in Wonderland, that didn't really click as well as a lot of his other films. And honestly, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. There's certain things that I love about this film, and there's certain things that really bother me about this film. And overall, I think it's a little above average kind of film. And I really enjoyed the little journey that I went on. But to talk a little bit more specifically, I think there's certain scenes in this film where Tim Burton really, really clicks. And there's some magic, there's wonder, it's whimsical, and a lot of those scenes in particular are carried by Danny DeVito, who is the shining star of this cast in this film, honestly. I absolutely love him in this. He steals the show whenever he's on screen. And he's really able to click well with Tim Burton and really bring something to this film. And honestly, there's some of the sequences that are really around the circusy parts of this film are what clicks with the wonder and everything. And then this film's kind of filled to the brim. It's well paced. I didn't feel like I was getting bored at all for the hour and 52 minutes. There are just certain things that it's like, I'm not bored of this. I'm just more like, why is this in the film? And Aaron Kruger, who's the writer of this, who I'm not really a big fan of a lot of the work that Kruger has done in terms of writing, and a lot of the same issues are in this film, is they try to do too much, honestly. And there's a budding romantic subplot. It's like, why are you there? And the stuff with Danny DeVito, I think, really works. I think that's important. And then they introduce Michael Keaton's character, and then there's a bank thing, and Alan Arkin's in this movie too, and then Eva Green's in it, and that's a budding potential romance with her and Colin Farrell. I'm just like, there's so much stuff going on in this film, and surprisingly, there's a lot less Dumbo in it. And because the thing is, this film isn't about a talking elephant who talks with a bunch of other critters, so it's kind of like they had to find other ways to fill out the runtime of this film. But here's the thing. When Dumbo's on screen, I absolutely love this movie. Dumbo is so adorable in this. You just look at his design and how adorable he is. And there's one particular sequence, which I've heard some people criticize this particular sequence. It's bringing one of the songs from the original film to the newer film, and I absolutely loved it. Honestly, it really worked for me. And there's such a beautiful shot, which some of the cinematography from Ben Davis in this is fantastic. One of the most awe-inspiring shots is a reflection in a CGI elephant's eye. And how beautifully shot it was and how the lighting was. And I'm just like, see, that's masterful craft like right there, that you can make something like that pop. And I wish there was more of that. I wish that magic was evenly distributed throughout the whole entire film instead of like choppily. There's particular scenes that really stuck out to me. But there was enough for me. But the biggest issue is I had a problem with a lot of the acting in this film. I'm going to start with Nico Parker, who plays the little girl in this film. I could even tell from the trailer, I'm like, she doesn't look like she shows any emotion at all. And I'm like, I'm really worried about her in this film. And the film, every time, there's no emotion anyway. So I'm just like, oh, well, there you go. It was unfortunate. It's really hard to get great performances of child actors, and that one really did not work at all. And that's tough because she's supposed to be the main girl in this movie. And like Alan Arkin pops up in this and does his Alan Arkin thing. It's like, hey, I'm Alan Arkin and I'm here and I'm going to make some jokes and be a grump. And then I'm gone. And he does it. And that's basically it. Ava Green, I love her. I think she's a fantastic actress. Her accent in this really turned me off and really distracted me. And I wish she got a little more to flesh out, but she didn't really have much to work with. Michael Keaton was probably the biggest disappointment in this film. He was just weird. And not like in an awesome, weird Michael Keaton way. He was trying to do different kinds of things, and none of it really meshed, and it just came off as awkward. It wasn't like manic Michael Keaton, like Beetlejuice kind of crazy fun. I think he was trying for that, and it really didn't work. And then Colin Farrell, there's certain parts in this film where he does feel a little wooden, but like Colin Farrell's a great actor, and he does shine in moments and has a lot of charisma. I just felt like it wasn't firing on all cylinders. But overall, I found enjoyment in this film, and I appreciated where their story went. Like, the main story of, like, Dumbo and his mama. I felt like that really worked in this film, and where this film took that story. And Danny Elfman's music, it's a Danny Elfman score, but it's magical and whimsical and wonderful and really works for this film, and that's why he keeps working with Tim Burton, because it works. But I think this is worthwhile. I think it's a good family film. I don't know how many people like my age are just going to go out and see this on their own and be like, I love this movie. But like, I think this is a good film that's enjoyable, and you could see it with your family. And for your families out there, go out and see Dumbo. But let me know what you think. Comment on this video, subscribe, and thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer. And one last thing that I almost forgot to mention. So, I wrote my first ever written review for SIFPOP, siftpop.com, for this film Dumbo. So go check it out and check out SIFPOP. There's a lot of great material in there, and it's not just because I'm completely biased because now I contribute to them, but I think it's a really cool website. Go check them out, show some love, and wait for my next review, which is going to be Avengers Endgame. And I cannot wait, but thank you. And tune in next time and support your Wasteland reviewer.